Except I'm a stinky girl with cooties. Ew. Exactly. Hello.
Hey, Miller.
You're just mad. Y'all, I
Y'all.
started a series.
Y'all. Y'all. You got very American there.
I've started a series called Hey Peter. So if you have questions for Peter, post them in the comments of any of those videos or this one, and we'll ask Peter the questions.
Is it possible to resign from a business you own?
You can hire a CEO and then you can just kind of like be off the grid. Just show up for committee meetings and whatnot.
Just hide.
No, it's great. We go, hey Peter, and then we ask him a random wine question. And then he answers it in a very relatable way so everyone can actually understand what crazy wine people are talking
And
about.
I have no idea what the questions are, as you'll see from the complete incompetence and probably incorrect information that I'm giving out.
I liked your wine trivia.
You like the one about sugar.
Oh god, it's so straight face. Anyway, what are we drinking today?
We are doing 2 wines today from Willi Haag. Now, Willi Haag, his grandson now runs the...
I really like the name.
Willi Haag. Yeah. They're from the Mosel. And Willi Haag's
Here's
grandson...
one of them, since he's not showing you the label.
Yeah, there we go. Marcus now runs the operation, has done since the mid-90s. They have this really cool... You know how you think wine producers, big chateaus, that sort of thing? Not with this guy. He's got this little timber-framed house, and underneath it there's a cellar carved out of rocks.
Well, that's adorable.
I know, I'll put pictures up. They're lovely. So anyway, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be focusing on the difference between cabinet and Auslese. So you have 3 different categories, sort of main categories of German wine. Cabinet, Spätlese, and Auslese. Cabinet is
Are you going to put the spellings of those in
Yes.
the video notes?
Yes.
Good deal. Thanks.
Not a problem.
From a bad smeller to another.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, really. Yeah. Anyway, the cabinet ones are the driest. They're not all dry. Some of them are sort of off dry, and this is one of them. If they're dry, they tend to have the word trocken on the label, which means dry. Spätlese means late harvest, which is they're a bit more sweet, and then Auslese means select harvest, which are usually the sweeter ones. Then you get into the really sweet ones. You get beer and Auslese, which is even sweeter, and Trockenbeer and Auslese, which is even sweeter because it's made out of dried grapes, hence the Trocken bit at the beginning. You are educated.
I am educated.
There we go.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Anyway, we are trying one of the cabinets.
Yes, so this is the 2022 Juffer Braunberg Riesling Cabinet. 7% alcohol. So if you like lower alcohol wines, if you like sweet wines, then this is the one for you. Or sweeter wines, this is the one for you.
Now, I typically really, really like German Rieslings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love most other things.
Yes.
Wines that come out of Germany. But I do love a German Riesling.
Yeah. Now, there's a school of thought on the petrol element of German Riesling. Some German Rieslings have a load of petrol aromas on them. Some people view that as a flaw. Other people view it as a positive thing. I quite like them when they get a bit petrol-y.
I like that petrol-y element, but what I appreciate from the Riesling is just that really crisp. Feels like I should be drinking it after skiing on a mountain. Not that I've been skiing on a mountain in ages, but just has that vibe. Like I want to be drinking it on the train as it rushes through the German mountains.
Yes,
There's
with snow but sunshine.
But sunshine, and that's the key. It's cold, crisp sun, and that's what I feel like a German Riesling should taste like.
Yes, and the wonderful thing about
petrol-y.
Yeah, it is petrol-y.
Wow.
If you don't know whether a wine is dry or sweet, just look at the alcohol level. The higher the alcohol level, the drier it is. So if you look at if this was a dry wine, you'd probably be looking at 12-ish% alcohol. Because it's sweeter, you're looking at something around about 7. So that's a good little way, because German wine labels can be really confusing. So on the nose, petrol, limes. A little bit of chalky flint, not
You get
not
that
chalk.
graphite-y flintiness. I was going with pavement, but
Yeah, well, it's got that sort of wet pavement, petrichor sort of thing.
Wet pavement, thank you.
It's just really pure, isn't it?
It's just, but that petrol, I can see where people are coming from when they think it might be a flaw because, stop making the face, because it does kind of disturb that feeling of sunshine, cold, crisp mountains.
Yep. It's so pure. The acidity on it is so well balanced. It's just, even though there's a residual sugar to it, it just has this cleanliness from that acidity.
It's really clean. I'm going to keep going back to the snow metaphor, but it
Yep.
does feel a bit like when you're a little kid and you find that clean patch of snow and then you eat it. Yeah, because kids are weird.
Kids are,
Like,
adults are weird.
it's fine. That said, this reminds me a bit of most of the Finger Lake Rieslings I've had, where it's just that little bit too sweet for me.
Bit sweet for you?
Little too sweet for me. I
Wait
know.
till you get to this.
I know. I knew it was coming as well.
I can understand why, but imagine you were sitting there in the aforementioned snowy hills and you had a sort of fondue in front of you.
You know how I feel about sweet wines. It's not empty yet.
Okay. I know, but this with fondue, or that with fondue would be lovely.
It depends on the type, I think,
Yeah.
of fondue, but still, I think it's a beautiful wine. It's crisp. It's clean. It's not overly crisp. It's crisp with a round, soft sides.
Yeah. The crisp, it's like lemon curd or lime curd.
But not that acidic.
No. But what you have is you've got that sweetness, you've got that citrusiness, but you also have the sort of cleanliness of it as well, which I think is lovely.
I can pick up what you're putting down on that one.
Fair enough. 21 quid, really lovely. Now we're moving up a bit. This is 2022 Juffer Sonnener Braunberg Riesling Auslese. So we've skipped Spätlese. We're going straight to Auslese.
You know what? This is past petrol, and it's that new plastic.
I know what you mean. It's slightly warm, melted plastic.
Yeah, new plastic when you open that computer printer box.
It's an Apple Mac box.
I was thinking the printer, like, ink cartridge box. 'Cause you know when you open the ink cartridge and then you get that thick plastic wrapper?
It is a bit that, isn't it?
And then you open it and it's like, oh, stale plastic air.
Yeah. Stale. The winemaker's got. Marcus Haag is going to love that. Stale plastic air. Well,
I'm sorry.
this is why I'm doing the Hey Peter and it's not entitled Hey Miller. You're just going to anger winemakers throughout the world. Well, on a positive note, I think it's beautiful.
I didn't say it was. It just has, instead of petrol.
No, you're right.
Thank you. See?
You are right. There is
Not
that
just
sort of
me, winemaker.
No. It does have that. It does have that sort of petrol-y, plasticky sort of thing going on.
Told you.
But it's also got
But
this
it's got
warm
dried
spice.
lemons behind it as well.
It is. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that. But do you?
Slightly candied dried lemons.
But do you get a sort of more of a sort of? I'm not going to say Gewürztraminer because it doesn't have that florality, but it's got that sort of paprika-y, sort of spicy, earthy spice coming through. You getting that at all?
No.
No? Or turmeric or something like that.
Maybe that kind of spice, turmeric.
Yeah. That's what I'm... It's
Cumin-y?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not paprika spice.
No.
It's
No.
spice in the non-spiced spice way.
It's almost like when you walk past a spice drawer and it's just, you get a waft of it. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
hint wafting through the kitchen air.
And it's more complex. You can tell it sounds daft, but it smells weightier. It's got more complexity to it, more depth to it, more interest to it.
Good.
And this is sweeter than the last one.
It's not, wait, pause, people. The other one, though, is that sweetness that just punches you in the back of the throat, which I don't like.
Yeah.
This is a lovely integrated, rounded sweetness,
Yes.
which makes the wine feel, in my opinion, less sweet and more drinkable.
It's more there as a softening device than as a primary, we're a sweet wine.
Isn't that what I just said?
Yes.
Cool.
You said it more relatably than I did.
We're working on Peter's relatability, but we do still need to have the wine geeky thing happening, so it's fine. That's a great acidity in there as well.
Basically, Miller's saying that for the past 22 years I've been cocking things up.
What I said, you have a very successful business, despite the fact that I've also said you didn't go very far. Location-wise, come on, it was a funny joke when it happened. Peter, come back.
Wrap it up. Oh.
Anyway, really lovely, rounded. It's got that sweetness that just makes it feel like it's not sweet, with that hit of acidity in the back instead of the hit of the sweetness in the back. Lovely. I would drink this one. Winemaker, much better job, even if it does smell like stale plastic air. Anyway, cheers.
It's very nice. Thank you, Marcus Haag.